What's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review. And today we're taking a look at the brand new NECA Predator 2 Ultimate Shaman Predator. And I'm excited to talk about this because it's been quite a long time since I've reviewed one of the NECA Predator figures. And I like this line quite a bit. So I'm looking forward to talking about this awesome looking Shaman Predator. So let's go ahead and get right into it, starting off with the packaging. As you can see, we have some really dope artwork right here. It looks like he took out a bunch of xenomorphs. He's running through some fire. This is really dope. I like that quite a bit. Down here it does say Predator 2. On the side of the box it says the same thing. On the back we get a look at the figure along with his accessories, and then we get a look at some of the other Predators in this line. And then we do have a brief description of the Shaman Predator, which I appreciate because I really don't know too much about this specific character, but thankfully there's a pretty descriptive character biography right here on the box, so that is nice. And then when we flip the figure back around, you can open this up and we get a really good looking shot of the Predator. And then on this side, we're able to see through the window where you can see the figure itself along with his accessories. And as always, I do apologize for that crazy glare. But yeah, man, this box is awesome. I love the artwork, and it does have like a premium feel, you know. So NECA always kills it with the box art and just the whole presentation. But enough about the pretty looking box. Let's go ahead and get this Predator out and take a look. All right, so the Shaman is looking pretty damn good right out of the box. He's got some great sculpting work, some nice paint, and a whole lot of detail. NECA always does a really nice job on their Predator figures. They always kill it with the details. I will say though, this guy does feel very familiar right out of the box because he is a lot of reuse. There are some new things going on, but for the most part, he's mostly recycled parts from previous NECA Predator figures. And that's really how this line is. Like, a lot of the Predator figures use the same bodies and even like the same armor pieces and things like that. But they do mix things up a little bit to make them feel unique. In his case, it's the accessories that really set this guy apart from other Predator figures. He comes with some amazing stuff that we'll put on him in just a minute. But yeah, right out of the box, he does feel very familiar, and I'm okay with it because I really like these figures. They look amazing, they're fun to pose around and play with, and I've just enjoyed the line so far quite a bit. And you know something that was really nice about this guy, as soon as I took him out, I didn't have to heat up anything to get the joints to move. Right out of the box, everything moved smoothly and felt very good. And that's awesome to see because the first NECA Predator figure that I ever owned actually broke on me. NECA did give me a replacement because it was an exclusive. I was able to hit them up and they sent me out like a new leg or something like that, and I had to put it back together. But you know, it was an unpleasant experience. And since then, every single Predator figure that I get, I have to heat it up for a very long time to get the joints to move. I think this might be the first one that I didn't have to heat up anything at all. And that is awesome. I don't mind having to heat up things, but it's cool to be able to take a figure right out of the box and just play with it without having to worry. So I'm really happy to see the progress that NECA has made in their QC department, because back in the day, that was like the one big negative about NECA, and they've kind of gotten past that and they've been killing it. And it's, you know, when I take a Predator figure out of the box and I don't have any problems, it's just a reminder, like, damn, I remember back in the day I used to have to boil these things forever to get them to move, and now I could just take them out of the box and play with them. So I was really happy to see that. And the sculpting work is always extremely well done on the NECA Predator figures. Taking a close look at the details on this guy, starting off at the head, this is a very classic looking head sculpt to me. It looks like, you know, your typical looking Predator. I'm not 100% sure if this is a new head sculpt. I compared it to some of the other figures in my collection, and I wasn't able to find one that looked exactly like this. This guy does have like a unique bone pattern, I guess you could call it, right up here on his head. None of my other Predator figures match that exactly. So this may be a new sculpt, but maybe not. But it does look good either way. We've got the crazy looking teeth. His eyes look good. I like the color of the skin too. It's got like that pale, nasty look, and then a little bit of like dark spots in there. It looks very good. But yeah, look at the sculpting work on that, man. They kill it. The teeth look insane. And we've got the dreadlocks with the hair tie in the back. But yeah, that's a great looking head sculpt. And then moving down into the body, we've got the shoulder pads, or, you know, we've got this shoulder pad on this side, and then this one's a little bit different. I like the detail on there. I don't think those are new, but this thing around his neck looks like it's new. I don't know what you'd call it, but like this piece here, that looks new, so that's cool. And then he does have like the bone necklace. And moving down into the body, he's got that fishnet design on him. which is kind of hard to see on here. It's not painted black or anything, so it just kind of blends in with the look of the figure. And then looking down here, I think this is unique to him. And it kind of matches the whole vibe of the character because he's got like pouches and all kinds of stuff going on, see? And I believe the forearms are unique to this figure as well. But the legs, I feel like I've seen these legs a couple of times. In fact, I think they're the exact same legs as the Green Lantern Predator figure. Or similar, at least the lower legs. But yeah, the sculpting work on this guy is extremely well done. NECA knows what they're doing with these figures. And they continue to kill it, man. They always look good. So I really do like the way this figure looks. And yeah, they did a great job with all the little details. And before we get into all the other accessories, I wanted to give you guys a quick look at this because earlier when I said that he comes with a couple of parts that really set him apart from other Predator figures, these are the things that I was referring to. First off, he has this awesome looking head sculpt, which I absolutely love because it's very unique compared to other Predator head sculpts or like the headgear that Predator characters usually have. Oftentimes, they have helmets and face masks that are more like technologically advanced. This here is very primitive. As you can see, it looks like some type of monster skull or some kind of weird creature that this Predator killed and turned his head into a skull. I love the creepy look that the nose and the teeth have. I really like that you could see his actual eyes beyond the eye sockets. I think that is very creepy and crazy looking. And it's very unique, but at the same time, it does have like a Predator vibe because of the shape of the head, you know? It's obviously Predator, but it's very different. And it just looks creepy, man. I love it. I think it came out awesome. And he does have like the dreads like all the other Predator heads have. So yeah, this is amazing. This is a cool looking head sculpt. And then he also comes with this really nice cloak, and it's made out of soft goods. Obviously it does have a bendy wire that goes along this side, and there's also a bendy wire around the neck. And I like that it's all tattered and messed up. It's very perfect for the whole vibe of the figure, and you could really get it into some dynamic poses, man. Look at that. Looks like he's right in the middle of casting a spell or something. But man, yeah, like I said, when you put these things on him, it separates him from the other Predators. It gives him a unique look, and it makes it feel like, you know, we're getting something different. And they always kill it when they incorporate soft goods into their Predator figures. One of my other favorites is Ahab, and he comes with a soft goods cape that looks amazing. So yeah, they do a great job with it. But look at this, dude. This is cool. I love the way this looks, and this is definitely how I'm going to display this guy. And aside from the two heads and the cloak, he does come with some other cool accessories, including some extra hands. So first off, we have a set of open hands, and then we have a set of gripping hands, but the two gripping hands are different from each other. The right gripping hand is a little tighter, and it's perfect to hold on to his staff, and the left gripping hand is a little bit more open, and it works really well for the axe that he comes with. It would have been cool if he came with two of each of these hands, but you know, it is what it is. And then he does come with this other hand, and he only has one of these for the right side. It's kind of in a weird shape. You could probably use this for some cool shots. And then he does come with a bunch of weapons. First off, he does have these open throwing discs, and these are cool, but we've seen these with pretty much every other NECA Predator figure. And then he does come with this really cool looking axe. Look at this thing, man. This is insane. It's very well sculpted and some really nice paint work, but man, I just love this design. It's so brutal. We've got like a human skull with the blade coming out from the front, and you've got the like the vertebrae onto the handle here. Yeah, this is crazy, man. This is an awesome, intimidating, and scary weapon. I like this a lot. And then next up we have his ritual dagger, or at least that's what the box says. But yeah, this is awesome too. You can see that the handle looks like it's made of some type of bone. Then we've got this crazy looking blade with a little bit of blood on it. And the blood looks like, you know, like it's been on the blade for a long time. So that's crazy right there. And then he does have this really cool looking staff with all this crazy stuff at the end. We have some like bones and different types of crazy things that a shaman might have on their staff. Imagine a predator using magic and weird stuff like that. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, this is dope, man. This is a little thin though. It kind of scares me a little bit. In fact, when I was messing with it, it almost started to break right here. I saw like a little break, so I just put a little bit of glue in there. It didn't snap in half or anything, but you know, I had the gripping hand on here, and then I was trying to plug it into the figure, and I must have pushed it the wrong way or something. But it started to move. I just put a drop of glue in there, and I think it's fine. It may not have been there. I don't know where it was at. It was on one of the handles. But yeah, I do wish this was made out of some stiffer material. But yeah, it's a very cool weapon. Or a very cool accessory, I should say. I don't know if it's a weapon. It looks like it with these blades on here. So you might like cast a spell or a curse or something and then shank you. Bam! And then lastly, he does come with this bloodied up skull. And this looks really good too. You could definitely use this for different types of things. And it does have like a hole in the bottom, so you could mount it somewhere or something. But yeah, this is awesome too. Random body parts like this can definitely come in handy. Look at that. I like how the blood has a shine to it too. That's cool. And then now for some quick size comparisons. Here we have the Shaman alongside the Golden Angel Predator and Ahab. And I absolutely love both of these figures. And it's really cool seeing these three together because they all share a lot of the same parts. But as you can see, they each look and feel very different from each other. They look like completely unique characters, and you know, they honestly look like unique parts until you start looking closely at things. Then you realize there's a lot of parts being shared here, but they really do a great job of mixing it up with armor and weapons and just different things to make these figures feel very different and give each one of them a unique attitude and feel on the shelf. And then next up we have them alongside the NECA Broken Tusk Predator and the NECA Comic-Con exclusive Yellow Lantern Predator. And then next up we have him alongside the Zesray Studio Combatants Branthok. I think that's how you say his name. On the opposite side we have the Axie Dino Warrior. And then here we have him alongside the Mythic Legions Purplor and the Mattel Masters of the Universe 40th Anniversary He-Man. And then next up we have him alongside a Black Series Stormtrooper and the SH Figure Arts Buzz Lightyear from the Lightyear movie. And then obviously we have to get him in here alongside the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap and Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man. And the articulation on the NECA Predator figures is pretty good. You could definitely have a whole lot of fun playing around with these guys. I do like the articulation setup quite a bit. Some of the armor and the skirt and things like that kind of get in the way a little bit, but not a whole lot. I think they do a good job of placing like these add-ons in places that kind of stay out of the way but still achieve what they're trying to do aesthetically. Like for example, right here at the shoulder, you want the armor piece to cover the shoulder, but you don't want it to get in the way when you're moving the arm. So they attach the shoulder armor right here at the bicep. So this whole piece kind of just moves around and it doesn't really get in the way, but you know, it still does its job aesthetically. So that is very nice. There are some areas where it doesn't work as well, but I think for the most part, like considering all the stuff that the Predators have on them, NECA does a great job of maintaining a really good amount of articulation. I do kind of wish that they would update their articulation setup because they have been using this for a couple of years now at this point, and I think it'd be nice to see them update things just a little bit, but there's not a whole lot they need to add to make these things like super posable. As it is, they're pretty damn posable. I think the only thing I could think of is maybe like butterfly joints somehow, but then, you know, with all the armor, that might be pretty impossible. But that's really the only point of articulation that I feel like these guys are really missing. Other than that, they have like everything that you need. I love the articulation setup. The torso is amazing. It reminds me of a Mafex figure, so that is nice because they do like one of my favorite setups. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look, starting off at the head. So the head is on like a ball joint kinda. The ball joint goes into the neck and then there's a peg that sticks out and goes into the head. And that does give some pretty good range. And if you bring it off the peg just a little bit, you get some more range, but it still stays on. So yeah, the head can move side to side. You get some nice tilt action going. He could look up to about right there, which is pretty good. Then he could look down to right there, which again is pretty good. So good stuff at the head and the neck. And then for the torso, as I mentioned, I really like what they have going on for their torsos. He does have a diaphragm cut and a ball joint at the waist. Using both of those, he could bend to about right there, which is pretty good. Yeah, that's awesome. And you could probably modify that if you want him to bend even more. But that's pretty good right out of the box, so I like that. Then you can like tilt him to the side quite a bit. Most of the side tilt is going to come from the waist, but you know, the diaphragm is moving as well. So yeah, look at that, awesome stuff. Go back to about right there. And then obviously you can swivel on the waist or on the diaphragm. So yeah, look at that, really good stuff. Like I said, I love the torso setup on these guys. It really allows for some dynamic posing and stuff. And then for the arms, he does have a a ball joint at the shoulder, which is covered by the armor piece, but as I mentioned before, it does get out of the way and doesn't really restrict the movement all that much. Like, look how much you could get his arm up, even with that shoulder pad there. Now on this side, because this shoulder pad is smaller and they had to put it a little higher, it actually gets in the way more than the bigger armor piece. But you could still kind of move it around and, oh no, yeah, it doesn't get in the way too much at all. So yeah, even with all that armor, they make it happen, so I like it. And then he does have an upper bicep swivel. He has double jointed elbows that get a really good bend. Bam, I like it. He does have a swivel at the wrist and a hinge at the wrist. At the legs, it is kind of restricted because of the, I don't know what you want to call this. This thing around his waist, like the pouches and, you know, whatever he's got going on. Loincloth? Whatever you want to call it. But it does get in the way of the joints a little bit. He does have ball joints for the hips, which is OG status, but they're covered up very nicely. Even if this wasn't here, the hip would go up high enough to cover the ball joint, so that's cool. But he does have upper thigh swivel. He could kick his leg forward to about right there, but like I said, this stuff does get in the way, but it's still a respectable amount. I'll take that. That'll work. See how, if he could go to the side. See, like, moving a figure like a NECA figure like this back in the day used to terrify me, but they got it down now, man. I'm very happy to see. But yeah, he could kick up to about right there, which is pretty good. But as you can see, the loincloth thing around his waist kind of wants to push him back into his natural position. But that's still a pretty good range. And it goes back a pretty good amount too. And then he does have double jointed knees. Boom. Oh, man. That's really good range. Then at the foot, we have looks like his ankle's on a little ball joint, so it swivels, goes forward to right there, goes up to right there, and kind of rocks side to side. So yeah, like I said, man, a whole lot of great articulation on these guys, and they are a whole lot of fun to play with. They're fun to pose around, they look awesome, and I just really like the articulation setup. Like I said, there's not a whole lot they could do to update it. If they were able to fit like butterfly joints in there somehow, or some kind of joint that functioned like a butterfly joint, then it'd be perfect. But as it is right now, it's pretty damn close. I really like the posability on these Predator figures. I think the NECA does a great job with it, especially considering the design and all the stuff that they have going on. You could really move these figures around quite a bit and have a lot of fun with them. So I'm happy with it. Alrighty, so overall, at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, the dust settles, and it's all said and done, I think this is a really, really great figure. NECA continues to kill it when it comes to the Predator figures. It would be nice to see them update the bodies a little bit, but even if they never do, what they have here works perfectly fine, and they continue to find really interesting ways to make these figures feel unique and different from each other. And I would say that this guy is probably one of my favorites out of the line so far. The soft goods cloak really takes it to another level. The accessories are absolutely ridiculous. I love this helmet right here is badass. I love the skull with the blood on it. This crazy looking axe is really, really dope and very fitting for the character, or, you know, from what little I know about the character. But yeah, man, this thing is really, really dope. Articulation is really good too. He is fun to play around with, and it looks amazing. That's the main thing about this figure. But yeah, you could get him into some great poses. You could have him creeping around looking crazy. You could do all kinds of good stuff with it. And this cloak is so amazing. I love that it has a bendy wire, so you could really pose it around and get it into some dynamic kind of situations and really make it look like it's moving. That really helps with the overall posability and just making the figure look like it's in motion, you know? So that's really, really great. But man, they do such a great job with their Predator stuff. I really think that they're the kings of it. You know, Mezco has a Predator figure on the way, and it looks pretty cool, but I don't think it's going to compare to the NECA stuff. I don't know, but I'll tell you this. I didn't even pre-order the Mezco one because I'm so satisfied with the NECA ones. They give you like so much for such a reasonable price, and all of them are amazing. Even though they are very similar to each other, they're really fun figures. They look amazing on the shelf, all standing together, and they're just dope, man. They're killing it. Like I said, they're the kings when it comes to Predator. But I do look forward to checking out the Mezco one eventually, one of these days. Maybe I could get someone to let me borrow it or something. But I want to see how it compares to these guys. But man, look at this thing. This is incredible. Yeah, such a great figure, man. They really killed it. But yeah, man, I look forward to continuing collecting this line. Hopefully, NECA keeps it going for a very long time, and I really hope that they continue to find interesting ways to change the figures up and make them feel unique. So far, they've done an incredible job with it, and yeah, I'm a big fan of this line, and I think this figure just might be one of the best that they've done so far. And with that, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to hit the bell notification so you know every time that I go live. If you're not aware, I go live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and every Friday at 7 p.m. So come through, let's talk about toys and get weird. Thank you very much. Peace.